On the desolate stretch of Archer Avenue, just beyond Chicago's glow, where Justice, Illinois, meets the shadowed gates of Resurrection Cemetery, a spectre roams under a moonless sky. Resurrection Mary, they call her, a vanishing hitchhiker whose name chills the marrow of those who drive her haunted road. The air grows heavy with dread, the night too still, as if the world holds its breath in her presence. She appears without warning, a vision in white, a young woman, her gown shimmering like frost, her blonde hair catching what little light dares linger. Her eyes, pale and unblinking, carry a sorrow that pierces the soul. Drivers see her by the roadside, arm outstretched, her figure fragile yet unnaturally vivid. She speaks softly, her voice a whisper of winter, asking for a ride to the cemetery or a dance hall long since crumbled. Those who stop feel a chill crawl up their spines, for her touch is cold, her gaze too knowing. The journey is brief but harrowing. She sits in silence, her presence draining the warmth from the car. Radios hiss static, headlights flicker, and the air grows thick with the scent of lilies and decay. Some say she speaks of a dance, a night cut short, a life stolen, perhaps by a crash, a betrayal, or a lover's cruelty. But when you reach the cemetery gates, she is gone. The seat is empty, the door unmoved, yet her perfume lingers, and your heart pounds with a fear you cannot name. Others tell of her at old ballrooms, dancing with strangers under dim chandeliers, her laughter bright but fleeting. She asks for a ride home, only to vanish as the car nears Resurrection Cemetery's iron gates. Some drivers, glancing back, see her form unravel into mist, her face briefly a skull before fading. The pole who search the cemetery find nothing but silent graves, though some swear the headstones weep in her wake. No one knows who Mary was in life, or what binds her to this road. A girl killed on her way to a dance, perhaps, her spirit trapped where her blood soaked the earth. The tales endure, drivers gripped by panic, dancers haunted by her fleeting touch. Resurrection. Cemetery looms, its gates a threshold she cannot cross, yet her shadow spills beyond, hungry for release or retribution. If you drive Archer Avenue past midnight, where the fog clings low and the night feels alive, beware the girl in white. Do not meet her eyes, for they see too much. Do not offer her a ride, for she brings the grave with her. Resurrection, Mary is no mere ghost. She is a wound in the night, a restless echo, and her cold hand seeks those who stray too close to her eternal sorrow. He made a pact, a bargain struck at the crossroads under a moonless sky. His soul traded for mastery of the guitar, a price paid in the currency of eternal damnation. The crossroads, a place where worlds collide, where the veil between the living and the dead grows thin. It was there, they say, that Johnson met a shadowy figure, a being of darkness with eyes that burned like hellfire. The devil offered him a gift, a chance to become the greatest bluesman the world had ever known. All he asked in return was Johnson's immortal soul. The young musician, consumed by ambition, agreed to the devil's terms. His fingers, once clumsy and unsure, now danced across the guitar strings with supernatural dexterity. Notes, imbued with the raw emotion of the Delta blues, poured forth, captivating all who heard them. Johnson's music, a fusion of earthly sorrow and otherworldly power, became a testament to his pact, a chilling reminder of the price of his newfound talent. He sang of love and loss, of pain and redemption, his voice carrying the weight of 1,000 lifetimes. His songs, filled with cryptic lyrics and haunting melodies, hinted at the darkness that consumed him, the ever-present shadow of his infernal bargain. His fame spread like wildfire, his music echoing through the juke joints and dance halls of the Delta. But with each performance, the devil's grip tightened, drawing him closer to his inevitable fate. They say Johnson's music carried a curse, a chilling reminder of the pact he had made. Those who listen too closely, who delve too deeply into the darkness of his blues, risk being consumed by the same infernal power that fueled his talent. And then, one fateful night, as Johnson played his final song, the devil came to collect his due. There are whispers in Hawaii, stories of footsteps that do not belong to the living. When the moon is high and the air is thick with silence, they come. The night marchers. They are the spirits of ancient Hawaiian warriors, their duty eternal, their presence a harbinger of death. Clad in traditional battle gear, their eyes glow like embers in the dark. Their faces remain expressionless, locked in unwavering duty as they march through the land they once swore to protect. They are neither good nor evil. They simply are. It is said they serve as the vanguard of sacred kings and chiefs, clearing a path through the world of the living. No mortal may look upon them and survive. Those who dare meet their gaze are doomed, their spirits torn from their bodies, dragged into the afterlife by unseen hands. You will hear them before you see them. The rhythmic pounding of drums in the distance, the soft echo of conch shells blowing through the night air. The ground will tremble beneath their march, and the wind will carry the scent of sea salt and death. If you ever find yourself in their path, drop to the ground, shut your eyes, hold your breath, show respect. Some say if you are of royal blood, they will pass you by. But for everyone else there is no mercy. And if, in the dead of night, you hear footsteps approaching with no one in sight, pray they do not stop for you. Dog clenched in its massive arms. Their terrified screams brought their sister running, but by then the creature had vanished. The stench lingered. Word spread like wildfire, and soon reports poured in. A farmer swore he glimpsed its hulking form near his barn, where livestock had begun disappearing under mysterious circumstances. A driver on the outskirts of town nearly veered off the road, when a towering shadow crossed his headlights, too large, too misshapen to be human. Then came the unearthly wails, shrill and guttural, echoing through the night. Armed men took to the woods, determined to end the nightmare. They searched the dense undergrowth, their flashlights slicing through the oppressive dark. But Momo was a phantom, always one step ahead, leaving behind only enormous footprints and the lingering stench of something rotten. Some claimed to have fired shots at it, yet no blood, no body, no proof was ever found. As suddenly as it had come, the monster vanished. The sighting ceased, the town exhaled, but the fear remained, festering, whispering. Some say Momo still watches, hidden in the tangled wilderness, waiting. Others claim it was never truly gone. On quiet, moonless nights, those who dare wander too far into the woods speak of the smell, a rancid, suffocating musk that clings to the air like a warning. And sometimes, just beyond the reach of flickering porch lights, a shadow looms, watching, waiting. Perhaps Momo still lingers, unseen, a nightmare with no end. In the quiet town of Mattoon, Illinois, during the dark nights of the mid-1940s, a sinister presence crept through the shadows. Known as the Mad Gasser of Mattoon, or the Phantom Anesthetist, this mysterious figure brought fear and paranoia to every doorstep, leaving behind no evidence but panic and unanswered questions. The first attack came without warning. Residents awoke in the dead of night to an overwhelming sweet smell filling their homes. Moments later, they were struck by strange symptoms: nausea, paralysis, and an inability to move or cry for help. Doors were locked, windows were sealed, yet the gas still seemed to seep in, an invisible terror that left its victims helpless. As more incidents were reported, fear gripped the town, and the legend of the Mad Gasser began to grow. Witnesses described fleeting glimpses of a shadowy figure, dressed in dark clothing, with a bizarre metallic device that sprayed the toxic fumes, but no one could catch the culprit, and the attacks seemed to defy explanation. Some claimed the Mad Gasser was a deranged scientist, testing experimental chemicals on unsuspecting townsfolk. Others whispered of something far darker, a spectre, not of flesh and blood, but of malice and fear haunting the streets of Mattoon. Despite widespread panic and desperate efforts by the police, no suspect was ever apprehended. The Mad Gasser vanished as suddenly as they had appeared, leaving only fear and speculation in their wake. To this day, the mystery of the Mad Gasser of Mattoon remains unsolved. Was it a person, a spectre, or merely the product of mass hysteria? No one can say for sure. But in the quiet, dark corners of Mattoon, when the night is still, some swear they can still smell a faint, sweet scent in the air, a chilling reminder that the Mad Gasser may not be gone for good. skies of Taling Chan, where the Bangkok night hums with secrets. The air grows heavy with a presence that no streetlight can banish. They call her Phi Yai Wan, the ghost of a pregnant woman whose sorrow clings to the earth like damp rock. In the 1970s, her story seeped into the bones of this place, a tale whispered only in dread, for to speak her name too loudly is to summon her gaze. She was once a woman of flesh and blood, her belly swollen with life, her heart tethered to a love that promised eternity. But eternity is a lie in Darling Chan's crooked lanes. Betrayed, abandoned, or struck down, none know the truth of her end. Some say her lover fled, as her screams echo through a monsoon's rage. Others swear she was torn apart by hands too cruel to name. All agree on one thing: she died alone, her unborn child cradled in a womb that became her tomb. Now she lingers, a spectre woven from grief and fury, haunting the canals and crumbling shophouses where the living dare not tread after dusk. At midnight, when the world holds its breath, her presence stirs. The air turns sour, thick with the scent of jasmine and decay. A soft sob drifts from the shadows, then a lullaby, its melody warped into something that claws at your soul. Those who glimpse her speak of a figure in a tattered white dress, her long hair, a veil of ink, spilling over a face, too pale, too still. Her eyes are voids, weeping black tears that stain the ground. Her swollen belly pulses, as if the life within still writhes, trapped in her endless torment. She does not merely haunt, she hunts, stray too close to the canal's edge, and you'll feel her breath, cold as a grave's embrace, on your neck. Men who linger too long in Taling Chan's bars vanish, their screams swallowed by the night. Some are found days later, floating face down in the water, their faces frozen in terror, hands clutching at nothing. Others are never seen again, claimed by Phi Yai Wan's unrelenting hunger for vengeance, or perhaps for the love she was denied. The locals know better than to mock her. Offerings of lotus flowers and incense pile at makeshift shrines, but they do little to appease her. Motorists swear their headlights dim as they pass her domain, radios hissing with a woman's anguished cries. Children are warned never to play near the canals, lest her skeletal fingers pull them under. Yet some say she spares the pure of heart, a wrath reserved for those who carry guilt in their souls. No one knows what binds Phi Yai Wan to Taling Chan, nor what would quench her rage. The canals keep her secrets, their waters black and silent. But if you hear a lullaby on the wind, or feel a gaze from the dark, walk swiftly, do not look back. For Phi Yai Wan is no mere ghost. She is a mother's pain, eternal, insatiable, and waiting. December 17, 1967, Australian Prime Minister Harold Holt vanished without a trace while swimming off the coast of Cheviot Beach. The official story was that Holt had tragically drowned, overcome by the powerful currents of the ocean. But the legend of his disappearance is far darker and more mysterious than any simple drowning. For years, whispers circulated that Holt's disappearance was no accident. Some claimed that the currents, though treacherous, were not strong enough to pull a skilled swimmer like Holt under. Others suggested a far more sinister explanation. One of the most chilling theories, one that still lingers in the minds of many, was that Holt had been taken by a Chinese submarine. The idea was that Holt, involved in covert dealings and possibly acting as a spy, had been captured and whisked away to an uncertain fate beneath the waves. Those who subscribe to this theory believe that Holt's disappearance was part of a grander conspiracy, a secret operation that went unnoticed by the world. They argue that his sudden vanishing was too well timed, too deliberate. Some even claim that he had been seen in China in the years following his supposed death. But the ocean is a vast, unforgiving place, and the truth of Harold Holt's disappearance remains elusive. For decades, the sea has kept its secrets, and the only certainty is that Holt, a man once at the helm of a nation, simply vanished. Some say his spirit still wanders the dark depths of Cheviot Beach, waiting for someone to uncover the truth, if it's even still possible to do so. In the still, silent nights of Fresno, California, an unsettling legend stalks the imagination of locals, the Fresno Nightcrawlers. First captured on CCTV footage, these strange, otherworldly creatures have haunted the town's darkened streets, their appearance as bizarre as it is terrifying. Described as white, elongated beings with impossibly long legs and tiny, featureless torsos, they move with an eerie, almost hypnotic gait, as if gliding rather than walking. To many, they resemble nothing more than disembodied, ghostly pairs of trousers, yet their unsettling presence is anything but laughable. The first sighting came from a homeowner who, curious about strange noises outside, reviewed their security footage. What they saw left them speechless. Two pale figures emerging from the shadows, their legs stretched unnaturally tall, each step slow and deliberate, almost as if they were floating. The smaller of the two trailed behind, its movement unnervingly synchronized with the larger one. As they vanished into the night, the homeowner was left with a chilling realization. Whatever these beings were, they were not human. The footage quickly spread, drawing the attention of cryptid enthusiasts and skeptics alike. Some claimed the Nightcrawlers were extraterrestrial visitors, their strange forms adapted to a planet with gravity unlike Earth's. Others whispered that they were spirits, ancient guardians tied to the land, warning of some impending doom. Still, others feared they were harbingers of something far darker, beings from another dimension, crossing into our world for reasons unknown. The sightings didn't stop. Reports emerged of people spotting the Nightcrawlers in nearby woods, gliding silently among the trees, their spindly forms illuminated by the pale light of the moon. Hikers described the forest growing unnaturally quiet, the air thick with unease, as if the creatures were aware of their presence and watching from just out of sight. Some who encountered them spoke of an overwhelming dread, a dismissed them as clever hoaxes or optical illusions, but those who've seen the footage or encountered them firsthand tell a different story. They believe the night crawlers are watching, observing humanity with motives shrouded in mystery. Their slow, silent steps a warning to stay away. The Fresno night crawlers remain one of the most bizarre and chilling cryptid tales in modern folklore, a reminder that some things move through the shadows of our world, unnoticed until they choose to reveal themselves, leaving nothing but fear in their wake. Hidden within the eerie expanse of Maple Hill Park in Huntsville, Alabama, lies a playground that few dare to visit after dark. Known as the Dead Children's Playground, it sits in the shadow of Maple Hill Cemetery, where countless lives were lost during the brutal Spanish flu pandemic of 1918. Many of these were children, tiny lives cut short by the merciless wave of illness that swept through the town. Their graves, small and silent, line the edges of the cemetery, just steps away from the playground, where swings now creak and echo through the night. As dusk falls, a haunting atmosphere descends upon the playground. Locals warn that the children who perished here never truly left. Strange occurrences have been reported for years. Swings move on their own, the rusted chains rattling as if gripped by invisible hands. In the sand beneath the slide, visitors find tiny footprints that appear suddenly and disappear just as mysteriously. Some who pass by in the evening hours have claimed to hear faint giggles or the distant sound of children calling out, voices carried on an unsettling breeze that seems to chill the very air around it. Witnesses describe seeing shadowy figures darting between the playground equipment, flickering in and out of sight like fading memories. A few brave souls have even claimed to catch glimpses of ghostly children, their pale forms just visible in the moonlight, with hollow, haunting eyes fixed on the swings. Others report feeling an icy touch on their shoulders or a tug at their clothing, as if tiny hands were reaching out, desperate to play just once more. Despite the renovations and new equipment, the playground remains a place haunted by sorrow and loss, as if the spirits of the past refuse to let go. It's said that the restless souls of these children are bound to this place, forever drawn to the playground. They never had the chance to truly enjoy in life. Visitors leave trinkets, small toys and flowers by the swings, hoping to soothe the spirits that linger. For those who know the tale, the Dead Children's Playground is not merely a place for children's laughter, but a portal to something darker. A reminder that some places are scarred by history, with memories and spirits that will not fade, even as time moves on. In the eerie world of haunted relics, few objects instill as much dread as the Dybbuk box, a small, unassuming wine cabinet steeped in sinister legend. Originating from Jewish folklore, a Dybbuk is a restless, malicious spirit believed to cling to objects or people, feeding off their misery and fear. The Dybbuk box is said to contain just such a spirit, bound within its wooden walls, waiting for the next unfortunate soul to open it. The box first gained infamy when it surfaced in an online auction, accompanied by the chilling story of its previous owner, who claimed his life was plagued with misfortunes and nightmarish experiences after acquiring it. According to the tale, the box was originally bought by a young man at an estate sale. When he opened it, he found strange items inside: locks of hair, a small goblet, a candlestick, and engraved Hebrew inscriptions. But it wasn't the items inside that terrified him. It was what followed. From the moment the box entered his home, strange occurrences began. Foul odours of decaying flowers and ammonia filled the air. Shadowy figures appeared in his periphery, and the eerie sound of faint whispers echoed through the night. Soon he began having violent, unexplainable nightmares of an old, hateful woman lurking at the edge of his bed, her eyes burning with malice. Each morning he woke up feeling drained, as if the spirit had sapped his very life force. The Dybbuk box changed hands many times, with each new owner reporting the same ominous symptoms: unrelenting nightmares, sickening dread. One owner even suffered a sudden stroke shortly after acquiring it, convinced that the spirit trapped within the box had cursed him. Eventually, the Dybbuk box was sealed away, kept hidden from curious eyes, locked behind glass to prevent anyone from releasing the evil within. It has since become a relic of fear, a cursed object housed with great caution. Paranormal researchers who dare to approach it claim to feel an intense pressure, as if the air around it is vibrating with a dark, pulsating energy, ready to burst forth at the slightest touch. Today, the Dybbuk box stands as a chilling reminder of forces beyond our understanding. Many believe that the box should remain sealed, for to open it is to invite disaster. The warnings are clear. Disturb the Dybbuk box, and you may awaken something ancient, vengeful, and impossible to escape. A spirit that seeks not just to haunt, but to possess and torment anyone who crosses its path. On the windswept shores of Cape Henlopen State Park, where the Atlantic whispers ancient secrets to the rugged cliffs, there prowls an eerie phenomenon known as the corpse light. To the untrained eye, it might appear a beacon of safety, a lighthouse guiding weary travellers home. But to those familiar with its cursed history, it is a harbinger of doom, a deceptive glow that leads only to despair and death. The legend of the corpse light began in the fog-laden nights of the 18th century, a time when smugglers and pirates frequented these waters, weaving through the treacherous shoals and hidden reefs. It is said that one fateful night, a band of smugglers, heavy with illicit cargo, spied a light gleaming through the dense fog. Believing it to be the lighthouse, they steered their vessel towards it, hearts light with relief. But as they drew closer, the light mysteriously vanished, leaving them to the merciless embrace of the rocks. The ship was shattered, swallowed by the hungry sea, and all hands were lost to the depths. From that night on, the corpse light appeared sporadically, always to unsuspecting sailors, its ghostly glow a false promise of safety. Tales spread of a spectral lantern held aloft by a shadowy figure clad in the tattered remnants of colonial garb, doomed to forever reenact his treachery. Some whispered that he was the spirit of a lighthouse keeper who had conspired with pirates, others that he was a wronged sailor, seeking vengeance against those who sailed these cursed waters. Local folklore insists that to see the corpse light is an omen of impending disaster. Fishermen refuse to set sail if the light is seen, and sailors mutter prayers when passing the cape after dusk. It's not just the beacon that terrifies them, but the sudden cold that seeps into the bones at its sighting, and the inexplicable malaise that descends upon the beholder. On stormy nights, when the thunder rolls and lightning illuminates the sea, the corpse light dances across the waves, elusive and taunting. Some brave souls have tried to follow it, to uncover its origins or end its spectral wanderings, yet none have succeeded, and many have not returned, their fates whispered in hushed tones in the local taverns. The corpse light remains one of the most chilling legends of Cape Henlopen, a reminder of the sea's dark power to enchant and ensnare. It continues to haunt the coastline, a phantom lighthouse that guides not to safe harbour, but to a watery grave, its mournful light a testament to the souls it has claimed. Relax, settle in, and drift off as we unravel the eerie legend of the Catman of Greenock, a mysterious figure lurking in the darkened streets of Scotland, where shadows hide untold secrets. In the darkened streets of Greenock, Scotland, a sinister legend lurks in the shadows, a tale whispered since the 1970s. The Catman of Greenock, a creature both feared and pitied, has haunted the alleyways, becoming a story that locals tell in hushed voices to keep their children close at night. The Catman was said to be human, scuttles along the alleys and underpasses, always staying close to the ground, moving with an unsettling feline grace. It is said that he survives on rats, devouring them with his bare hands. Eyewitnesses claim to have seen him in the dead of night, his filthy fingers closing around a writhing rodent, sinking his teeth into the squirming creature, the crunch of bone and squeal of his prey echoing faintly against the bricks. The very sight of it sends shivers down the spine, a glimpse of a forgotten human reduced to something almost feral. Yet, it's not just the rats that keep the Catman company. Rumours tell of a colony of wild cats that live alongside him, creatures drawn to him by some inexplicable bond. They say he cares for them, shares his meals with them, and they, in turn, protect him. A grim pact between the lost and the forsaken. Locals swear they've seen him surrounded by these creatures, his bony hands stroking their mangy fur as if they were his only family. To some, he's become a twisted guardian of the alleyways, a protector of the stray and forgotten. People say if you wander the outskirts of Greenock at night, you might just catch a glimpse of him, eyes glowing like those of the wild cats, staring from the shadows. The bravest claim to have seen his crooked silhouette crawling across the ground, always close to his feline companions. Some who have dared to approach say they've heard him hiss, a low, guttural warning, more animal than man. No one knows where the Catman sleeps,